Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. How are you all today? And here we are again for some more tarot training. So we'll just wait for a few people to join us and we'll continue through the meaning of some of the cards, or some of the meanings of the cards. This is just some bullet points for you to be able to practice your readings. So we are continuing through the Minor Arcana and coming to the end of the wands. Last week, I'm afraid I could only stream into one particular platform due to technical difficulties, but we're back and hopefully you can continue to follow what the cards are meaning. If you miss anything, by all means do go back into my YouTube channel or Tarot Talk, where the video files of the lessons are all there. So lesson 31, I believe. I did lesson 32 last week just because so much technical problems. I had to quickly whiz on and just try and do the lesson. And unfortunately, I did choose to go into the Queen and the King of Wands. So this week we are dealing with Page of Wands and Knight of Wands. So do come and say hi. You're very, very welcome to ask any questions that you may have regarding what the cards actually might or might not mean to you as a person. I'm here to help, and I've got lots and lots of experience. Don't claim to know everything, we're all still learning, but I can certainly help you with some of those burning questions that you may have about what the cards might mean and how it might come up in a reading and how that might affect you and where you might get stuck. It's having a strategy, isn't it? And once you've gone through the cards, it'll be wonderful, because what we are going to do is going to do lots and lots of questions and answers and focus on putting cards together and spreads. I don't do reverse cards, just because of the method that I use. So stick with me. I'm sure you're going to love it because there's a strategy to it all. Okay, right. I'm just going to move something away from my screen because it's getting in the way while I'm talking to you. So, the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is linked to the astrological sign of Sagittarius, and he brings messages from much further afield. So this is a card of communication. Okay, it's also a card of travel. And if you get stuck, look in the actual card itself in the Waite decks, and you can see there's some sand dunes or mountains that are kind of covered in a sandy, sort of browny golden colour, which should make you think of travel, you know, hot sands and faraway places. The Page of Wands is someone that's got quite a fixed focus, but he is a page. Okay, and people get very confused when it comes to court cards. What are they? Some even say to me, gosh, I take them out, I don't use them. No, don't do that. Honestly, it's a shame, because you are missing out on so much if you take out your court cards. The court cards are aspects of the person that is having the reading with you. If it's for you, it's aspects of you. But it's also aspects of anyone that they are inquiring about. And what I mean by that is, let's say that somebody says, is my boss going to actually talk to me about, you know, this difficult matter of another member of the team? So that will be the person that's having the reading, come up as the Page of Wands, person that they're asking about, my boss, and Page of Wands would also represent, are you going to talk to X about this matter? So you see, I know it can get confusing, but if you follow a system, and the system that I teach you, you can then find out who is who, where they are, who they're talking about, what's it all about, and who, what, where, when, and why. Okay, burning questions. And yes, you can predict when. There's lots and lots of different things that would be completely accurate down to an astrological timing that you'd get. Like, it could be, well, that's not going to happen till Sagittarius, okay? Or it could be that you are given weeks, days, months, or open timing, those kind of things. And how to do that, of course, and where to look for that. You don't just kind of pull a card and go, it's there. It would have to come out in a certain part of the reading where in your spread there's a specific place for the timing, okay? Might even come up as in with a major card, and a major card might be that of the Hierophant, which is Taurus, okay? So I can teach you all of that, okay? But this is a briefing, and short time we've got together on YouTube isn't quite the same as what I can offer you online on my website, where it's all recorded, so you don't have to worry about turning up and syncing with certain times and missing anything out. It's recorded for you, and it's very, very in-depth, and you will not find another course like it, okay, because it's pretty unique and it's my signature course, okay? So I've always read like that, and I've always taught like that, and I've led a big old team of psychics and card readers and tarot card readers, angel card, oracle card readers, psychics, intuitives, and clairvoyants. This is someone that's got a very fixed focus, as I mentioned, but they are a page. What does that mean? They're an apprentice, they're a student, they're starting out, they've got lots to learn. They're right at the beginning of the journey, they're navigating the way as best they possibly can, and they are trying to get there. Okay, sorry about the dogs barking. This is a card when messages require action to be taken. So it's a great card of communication, but it will actually lead to actions, and that means you'll have to do something. So it might be a case of, you hear something and then have to actually take action on that, such as, well, I heard about a job and, I want to get that job. Well, you've got to apply for it, you see? So it's something of that nature where you would need action, all right? This is a boisterous extrovert. So the characteristics and aspects of this person is they've got lots of energy, full of life, they are an extrovert, and they enjoy life. Okay, there's news of travel when you get this card. This page likes to be seen and heard. Look at him. Looks like he's standing on the stage with a microphone. So if you look at that wand as if it's a microphone and somebody making an announcement on stage, will help you remember this communication. Okay, they're a very good communicator, good telephone manner, a confident energy, and a very brave personality. Well, they're starting out, so they know they've got lots to learn, and they're throwing themselves into it with that energy. They're very innovative, and they like to try things out, so they don't mind if they make mistakes. It's all part of learning. It's all part of the path that they're on. They're a natural performer who enjoy the limelight. Again, remember I said to you, think of it as a stage. Look at that as a microphone. Somebody usually takes to the stage of some sort and makes an announcement of sorts, okay? This person is a bit of a showman, so they're good at what they do, and they're probably authentic, and they're probably very entertaining, and this page traditionally is usually associated with messages and news. So this is a card that comes out where it's like, will I hear from them? This is what you're looking for, one of these cards, will so-and-so contact me? Look for the Page of Wands. If you use my method of the spread that I use, there is also in the third house, it's communications. That's where you go straight away. And if the Page of Wands popped up there, boy, you'd certainly know that that was going to be communication. The major card would tell you what's going on. Minor card would tell you the background effects involved. By feeding the two together, you are putting letters together like a language. A and T spells at. If you put something else there, it completely changes the meaning, and that's the whole point. So, I'll be talking about pairs, I'll be talking about spreads. In further lessons, we are just going through the basics here. So if anybody misses anything, do remember you can go back onto YouTube, look in the playlist, go from lesson 1 right through and find what you're looking for. I try and label them properly so that you can find not just the lesson, but the card that you're looking for. And of course, you are welcome to have a free white PDF version of the slides that I use here to go through the point of what each card is. And I've tried to make it as simple as possible so that you're not distracted too much by me, and that you're able to look at your card and the card that we are all looking at the same, instead of having to get your card out, okay? So if you want to actually have your free copy, it's hello@tarotcourses.online, or you can write to me at hello@tarotwithanemarie.com, whichever you want to, okay? That's the free one. So it's exactly the same as what you're seeing on the screen, apart from the fact the background is white. I also, of course, have tarotcourses.online, which is my website for anybody wishing to train to really, really master how to read the cards from beginners, which goes through all the cards. You can choose major cards, you can choose the minor cards. You can, hi Richo, hi, nice to see you today, you're very welcome. You can choose the minor arcana, the cups, the wands, the pentacles, whichever. Choose, do what you want to do. Once you've actually done that, I don't show you anything apart from just those cards and everything you need to know about them, so that it's absolutely, you've got the depth that I can give you. And I took 2 years to build this course and make it so it was completely available. Why? I've done it so many times, and people say, oh gosh, I can't come at that time, and gosh, I can't hear you, or my internet's cutting out, or it's going to cost me a fortune in a phone call, or I used to do it in person and it's like I can't get there, and oh, that's a shame, I'm on the other side of London, or I'm on the other side of wherever it was that I was actually teaching it, or I got there and I've missed half the lesson and it's disruptive and everyone gets a bit cross. I've done it as a conference call where we've all been on a call, 10 of us at once, where you name it, I've done it. I think that this is probably the easiest and the best way of saying, you go to the website and go and look at what it is, and then every week I'm here, and we can ask anything you want about what you're learning in your own pace, in your own home, and as much or as little as you want. You can binge it, or you can spread it out and just take your time, whichever it is that suits you. We're all different. Okay, so I'm just going back to the broadcast. There's Richo. Okay, because we're on this, I'll put that on there. So lovely to have you along. Thanks for coming in, Richo. Okay, or Rico. I don't know how you pronounce that. Sorry. Do like to get people's names right, but of course it's difficult, as in when I'm not actually able to talk to you. It's kind of warm again, and it was a very long evening last night. We got together for the animals in the village, as in, and I don't normally late night and a little bit of fun and being in the neighbourhood and doing something worthwhile. So today I'm feeling a little bit sort of fragile, only because it was a late night. Marie, what do you think about tarot readers from Twitch that play tarot like it's Monopoly? Oh my gosh, you're going to have to excuse me. I didn't know they did that. Can you tell me what you mean a little bit more? I'm curious, because I don't know about it. So I can't really comment on something I don't know. Do you mean that they are kind of like giving generic sort of readings? Is that what you mean? Like a collective reading? Because if it's that, then it is difficult, isn't it? It's a bit. If it is that, I would comment and say, well, look, you've got to take it if it resonates with you, and if it's not, then fair enough. It's not for you. It's a bit like reading your stars. We're not all just 12 individuals, but it is difficult. I'm not quite sure about that, sorry. And I really would like to know more about Twitch. I really want to learn about that platform. I've been on it for a while, but I have to confess that I just kind of added it into my stream. And I've had some wonderful people coming in, but I don't actually watch it. A couple of times I have, and I've kind of thought, what is this? I kind of caught somebody who kind of left it on for 4 or 5 hours while they were sitting and working and typing, and people were coming. I mean, it was fascinating perhaps to be a fly on the wall of somebody's life, but I didn't get the point at all. It was like, I've got to kind of get on and don't quite know what this is. So yeah, they make it up as they go along. It's their interpretation, not what you teach. Okay, so intuitive readings, well, that's fine, okay. Your intuition is incredible. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to add this to the broadcast because it's really interesting. And the point then was not all, but most. Okay. I think it can be worrying to feel that somebody is perhaps messing with making it up. Might as well just have a plain old conversation when somebody says, what do you think? And I go, I don't know, but I'll say this. It can be harmful content. And that's the whole point. What I do want to say to you is, I can't comment on Twitch, but having read on psychic lines, I had my own psychic lines and still do, but it's just me now instead of a big old team. There were often people that would come and say, I've been to this platform or this reader, not from the line I was on, from, X, Y, and Z. And they'd go, and they said this, and I can't get it out of my head. And you'd have to kind of go, right, I've heard you, and I empathise and sympathise. What I am going to say to you is, why don't we look at it freshly? And I will do it for you in a system. And you see, it's a bit like a tarot scope, the way that I do it, okay? Yeah, this is the point, you see. This is where that's where I really worry, okay? And honestly, I had to pick up the pieces. Can you imagine? And I'm talking some very intelligent people and some really genuine, wonderful people that needed help, that fell for, shall we say, charlatans or people out to make a buck or two, or even worse than that, scammers, and they'd go, gosh, I gave this money because they told me they could do X, Y, and Z, and it's like, no, and it's like, how can you comfort them? They've been so battered and bruised by the whole experience. It's awful. So I find it very difficult, when that's there, and all I can say is, you don't want to get caught up in what they're doing. You just want to kind of go, look, why don't we look at it afresh? That's my only point that I could say, because otherwise it becomes an argy-bargy of he said, she said, trying to convince somebody. I'd hate to do that. Why did they say this? And it's like, my darling, I haven't got the cards they've got. I don't know what they said to you. It could have been taken out of context. I wouldn't like to comment on that. Let's look at this fresh for you. And you see, they need pacifying them with guidance, and you would tell them, and that's when I say I'm going to give you a technical read. And a technical read would be, the reason I'm saying X to you is because you have this card here and this card here. Those two together mean this. This on its own means that. Put the two together, can you see it means X and Y? And then if we put it together even more, it's in your fate line, or it's in yourself, or it's in the influences of other people, or it's in your spiritual advice, or you're asking about work, and I've looked at the 6th house, which is work. It's that, okay? So you can actually say, this is a technical read. And people like that, it's not about saying, hey, I have the Page of Wands, this is it, you are this, yeah, you're absolutely right. It is true, and it's a shame, and unfortunately it's probably always happened, and it probably always will, and there's not much you can do about it. All you can do is try and say, please, 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 let's just look at it from this aspect. And it's going to be something of, see, this is why I like the system of what I would call a technical read. Of course your intuition comes into it, but to go just kind of intuitively is very hard. And you can feel card blindness, as people call it, where you look at the cards and you go, I don't know, I'll get nothing. And nothing. don't know what to say, you know, and then you're put off, and then you're kind of, it's stage fright. And I've had stage fright, you know, as in not with the tarot cards, but actually on stage, where many years ago, you know, used to be in a band and you'd forget the words, you know, bit of fun when you were a teenager and kind of singing the song and everything's fine until you look at the audience and you become a bit self-conscious and you suddenly go, I can't think. So I can imagine that's what it's like when people talk to me about, I can't get anything. Your intuition will come with using the method, bringing together your intuition, your guidance, and what you are receiving, but knowing that you've got a system. You can use either or both, can't you? You know, so if you start off, you know, with your foundations and you've got your spread out, you know what you're talking about, or you're actually able to kind of go, I'll just give you one card and it's just this card. And, you know, I don't really like that, but we've got to know what that card means. You know, people will say, oh gosh, you know, I'm a Cancerian, what does that mean? What can you see about me? Can you look at my life? And it's like, well, I can, but it will just be, you know, sketchy. And no, I can't look at your life. That's your own private business. I can look at what you asked me to. And we people, you know, you go, oh, come on, you do the reading. I'm not giving you anything. You're the psychic. And it's like, well, if you want to waste your money and your time and mine, you know, I'll do that for you. But you might not like what the guidance is simply because it might go all over the place and not answer what you've really wanted. You know, oh, can't you read my mind? No, of course not. That's not what it's about. It's about what do you need to know. And sometimes people say, what do I need to know? It will throw it up. And it might be, oh, I wanted to know this. Well, why not say you wanted to know, you know, whether or not you were going to move house in July, you know? Well, I expected it to come up. How could it? You'd probably, you know, been answered about something that the cards felt that you weren't paying attention to. And maybe that was much more important at this stage. So if that's what you want to do. So when people do that, and they do that, and you have to say, okay, you know, but you're also in charge of the reading. And if somebody says to you, well, I want to know this, and I've paid my money, and I want you to tell me, and it's like, I'm sorry, you can have your money back. I'm not answering that question. It's not ethical. I can't do it. I wouldn't dream of doing it. So you are in charge. Yeah. Sometimes people go, oh, they're going to get their karma and they're going to get their comeuppance. They've done this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, actually, I'll look in the house of karma, but you know what? That's their business, not yours. And we don't kind of like poke our noses into trying to remote view into people's lives. We can look at how it might affect us, their influences on us, of course, but we can't go in and spy on people. And so, yeah, I can understand how that can go round and round in circles and get completely lost. Sorry, we've got a lot of heat, and yes, it's a bit tough on the skin, you know, it's like, oh, it's sore because it's hot and it's humid, and yeah, it's kind of like makes your skin a little bit tender. So my apologies for being a bit fidgety today. The King, I beg your pardon, the Knight of Wands is Leo. Okay, so completely different to our lovely page. Okay, right. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to, I'll come back to Knight of Wands. So I'm just one, you see this question a lot on Twitch. What does he think about me? I just think we are, why are you asking the tarot that? I'm not the, it's a very, very good point. Why not have a conversation with them? We're all different. And some people just have not got the confidence to do that. And yes, I get asked that all the time. And I answer as truthfully as the cards present. And it can help them move away from something that they're wasting their time with, or they may choose to hang around and waste a bit more time until they realise something better's there. Or it can give them the confidence to actually say, well, maybe they need to also do something to maybe approach that person and find out a little bit about the person they're asking about. Yeah, they do. You do see that all the time. It's probably the most popular subject in tarot, and I've done this for a long time. Yeah, The difference is it's horses for courses. So when it's kind of, let me go back a few years and say that when I used to do mind, body, and spirit and soul exhibitions, where it was a gathering, an exhibition like Excel Centre in London, or places like Brighton or Olympia, those kind of places where Camden, lots of places like that where we would have a table, and you would set up your chair and you would pay your money for your table for the day, and people would approach you. Those kind of people came to those events with a very different agenda. They were very spiritual. They were looking for their spiritual growth and nourishment. They were trying to get in touch with, to progress and to grow. They were looking for something of enlightenment. They were on their journey. They wanted to learn. They wanted, to buy things like beautiful music that's inspirational. It's where I got most of my. There were CDs back then, and I know they're still around, but I know that we download more these days. Got loads of my things there, and it would be for readers and clairvoyants and mediums and psychics and graphologists and astrologers and people that were selling music, CDs like things like Medwin Goodall, who's fabulous, by the way. If you've not heard any of his music, do. It's fabulous, especially Medicine Woman, and he's got so many. Great guy, absolutely, truly. Remember the days of hearing that in the background. But they were very spiritual, and they were looking for something, and it was a collective that came together. When it's kind of on social media or psychic lines, it's where someone's psychic lines are got a problem sort of with work or house or my relationship, and they care very deeply that they get an in-depth insight into how they can navigate the bumps and learn and grow and be as pure as possible. Hi, JA. Oh, good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. If I remember rightly, you had to wait quite a while. I give in-depth readings. I know it's kind of frustrating, but there are yes and no people out there. I'll do yes and no one day where it's just kind of quick and we get through a lot, but you're welcome. No, I don't, Rico. I won't put it up on the screen, but no, I don't. No. And what I'm trying to say is those events had a complete different vibe. The psychic lines have got a different vibe. When it's on social media and it's kind of, a buck or two, or, a bit of a party trick with a coffee thrown in, and it's kind of generic, or it's just a fast read of, give me a donation, or I charge blah for sort of yes or no, or whatever on social media. People are coming at it because it's convenient, and perhaps just kind of it's there, and so they're going to ask, well, I want to know now, so I'll ask you. So I kind of feel there's a different kind of person that comes for that, and perhaps a different kind of person that's serving that particular sort of niche, as it were. So it's all different, and I mean, I can go back and say, there'd be people that were very pure readers and would be horrified that you're actually teaching technically. They believe it's all, to do with connecting just with the intuition. But we're all different. You have to find what's right for you. And thankfully, there's not just one way, is there? But if you're struggling, this is a nice way. And it can lead to you feeling professional, so that you feel that you've done your job and that you've learned your craft and you've done it in a way that there's a method, there's a strategy, there's a structure. And that's what I do. Okay, and if that doesn't suit people, then they'll move on and find out what's right for them. Okay, so there you go. Oh, hi, Francine. How are you? How are you? Nice to see you. And you're very welcome, JA, for commenting. I don't know if we've got Victor watching today, as our lovely Victor, who is doing really well with his studies and um, his journey into tarot, and a really well-loved member of this community. It's quite small. You know, there's people that's got thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers, but it's kind of it's just different. Okay, sometimes you get a handful, and you get a handful of the right people. It's not always quantity, it's quality, isn't it? Right. You've been trying to figure out what tarot is. Is it a party trick, or is it a business, or is it to benefit spiritual growth? Okay, right. I think it's probably a little bit of all of those for different people. Okay, in how I will answer. And I can only talk about myself and the people that I have worked with or have come across in my path professionally, because we've worked as individuals in a team that came together. It's always been to benefit one's spiritual growth. But it is my full-time profession, and people are paying, not necessarily for my time, but they are paying for my years of experience, where I've put that time in, to being able to pass that on as much as I can. But if it, I had a job where it paid very, very well many, many years ago, and I didn't make as much money with the tarot at all, hardly anything, but I realised that I needed to share what it was I had. And so I had to kind of really take a cut in. I did both, exhausted myself. I did my day job and did the tarot, and it was exhausting. And then I made the switch to put the tarot business together so I could kind of let go of my day job, as it were. And it worked. I was lucky enough to actually have that work, and that took me 2 years to get that one off the ground, with lots and lots of different sort of learning of how to design cards and goodness knows what else. So it's where are you coming from? I mean, back then I created a whole system to give every possible combination of pairs, and that took me like 3 years, and I recorded it. I typed each one up, and I had so much. I wrote articles, I did lots of free readings to promote it, and I got a big website going, and psychic lines, and yeah, I'd created something that was as accurate as me in person. I've always been able to sort of try and say, how can I help as many people as possible in one go? Because one-to-one you're limited, So I started that, 1999, and did that one. So there's been lots and lots and lots of things, but it's all about trying to help people with spiritual growth. Of course, if you are actually trying to make a living, you have to be able to do that. I can't tell you the hours that I do. For the last 2 years, seriously, apart from my birthday and even Christmas Day, I worked, put videos up and edited them, and it's hours, 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 hours. I mean, even just the PDF that you see, but no idea what work goes into that. Getting the logos, making sure that people can't, just change it willy-nilly, figuring it out, working out lighting and editing and software, and it costs a fortune. To stream like this costs me a lot of money, and it all needs to be taken into account. We need to live, and it's like, what are we doing? So it depends, doesn't it? I can't answer for everyone, but for me personally, it's like you are paying for my expertise over the years that I'm passing on to you, not just my time. Because if it was my time, gosh, that would really, really not make any sense. There's hours and hours. I would say up to 3 months ago, maybe for about 21 months, I was going to bed every night at 3 a.m. and back at it again at 8. And that was getting everything ready. Why? Because you can't just manifest something and turn it up. And what do I mean by that? It's the courses. putting it together, recording it, writing it, putting the pictures in, making sure everything was fine, filming it, editing it, putting it in, researching what was the best course provider, so that people didn't just kind of like buy a course, download it, and spread it all over the internet, because what would be the point in that? All your work gone, 3 years of work down the drain. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Anyway, let's move on. I hope that that's helped. It's nice to have a tarot chat, and I love your questions, and that's only my opinion, of course, but of course I do have a lot of experience, perhaps from so many different backgrounds. And you see, I'll make you laugh just before I move on to Knight of Wands here. People will always say to me, do you believe in that old bleep, bleep, bleep? Or is it just a business? Is it just money? And I honestly haven't fathomed out what I should say to that, apart from it's my business, and yes, I do believe in it. And it's kind of really offensive, but of them to say that, you wouldn't go up to somebody and go, I don't really believe in your faith and your religion, do you? Not really, just hedging your bets. It's I don't know what to say to that, and perhaps someone can help me. Right, okay. Oh, no, I'm not taking offense at all. I think the questions are fab. No, that's what it's about. Hidden gems. Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, I also try and cater for those that might want to seriously make that leap of faith over. That's why I do my Friday night lives. And I'm just hoping sometimes that people can actually we all need a little bit of something for nothing, don't we? Just to kind of say, actually, I quite like that. I might go and do that again. But yeah, I've got to respect that other person's time. So I'll buy a reading, even if it's not me. It doesn't matter if it's helped that person find what they're looking for. That's great. That's what it's about. Okay, right, let's see. Oh, right. So say you got 3 cards, you put them together, by the meanings to read it, I'm guessing. Right. I don't particularly work like that, but I do understand what you're saying. So let me answer you 2 ways. So you get 3 cards and you put them together by their meanings to read them. Well, yeah, that's kind of it. But you've got to know which bits where. And the trouble is with just using 3 cards from 78, you are kind of getting a bit of this and a bit of that, and there's a bit like if you look at the PDF and out comes the Knight of Wands, and you go, oh, this is a Leo card, are you Leo? And they go, nope. And you go, what do I do? Yeah? Or, oh, I'll try again. Right, okay, so let's try it again. This is someone who've got immense charisma, but less commitment. There's a gap in your wisdom. And I go, no. So you kind of go through the list that you've got on your screen now, feeling more and more sheepish and worried. Yeah? Hello, Devan. I don't know how you say that. Hi. How are you? I'm going to go back to that. So let's just say, okay, that you are using, okay, I'm not quite sure if you're asking for a reading there, but I am not doing readings today. Sorry, sweetheart, this is training, and we're talking about the tarot cards and how to learn them and what the meanings are, rather than giving readings. So I'm going to say to you, sorry about that, okay? So I don't know if the rest of you can see those comments coming up there. It's people always confuse the fact that I'm doing tarot readings because of Friday nights, which is understandable. But it's today's training. Okay, sorry, sweetheart. Fridays, 5 o'clock. Okay, UK time. Sorry, sweetie. All right. It's easily misunderstood when I do 2 different things. That's not your fault. Okay. So if you've got 3 cards, you see, it's very hard to actually tie them together. So what I do is I work with pairs. So you get the Major Arcana card, and I can't show you this because I'm going through the cards first. Yeah, it's like learning your alphabet. And then what we're going to do is put it together. But yes, you bring it together. So let me just give you a wee example. Okay, I hadn't intended to do this, but let's just hold on 1 second. Okay, so let's say that, let's pick a good one. Okay, let's say that we had the, I hope you can see that, the Sun card, okay? That's why I don't like doing all this holding up stuff, but there you go. So I like my PDFs, so they're nice and clear for you, okay? Or I'll be streaming down with the camera in a minute. So you've got the Sun card, and it comes up with the Knight of Wands. The Sun card is all about our family, and it's about our personal goals and the people and the things that we want as an individual. So it's not about a career. It's not about wanting to be a CEO or a gymnast or, a professional sort of doctor. It's much more to do with the things you aspire to as a person, your individual self. I like taking care of my well-being. I like being spiritual. I love my family. It's that kind of thing. Yeah, the personal self. I like my hobbies. This is what I do. I enjoy cooking or whatever. It's those kind of things rather than the world card, which is your achievements. That I opened an airport in Timbuktu, and I am responsible for putting in the railways. That's the world card. It's kind of achievements. Can you see there's a bit of difference there? Okay, so the Sun card also relates to being transparent, and it's also about our family and things that are very personal to us. So it would mean, if it came up with the Knight of Wands, as is on the screen, it would mean that that person is progressing in some way to do with the project that they are totally, it's very important to them in a very personal way about that person. And the Knight of Wands would be saying they're doing it with enthusiasm, like that of a Leo. Not they are, yes? They are learning to be more magnetic, they are moving in positive directions, and maybe some travel going to be thrown into this. Can you see? You've got a subject now. So this is the background effects. This is what I'm going to be doing. Hi, Sherry. I sent you a message, sweetheart. If you check your messages, hi. Perhaps we can talk today. Yeah, check your messages from me, darling. And thank you so much. I'm talking about. Bless you. Okay, it's Sherry. So, there we go. Okay, sweetie. All right. So then, you see, your 3 cards would be 3 cards. Mine would be 3 pairs. Okay, which is what, if you watched last night, you'll see me doing. And you put it together like that. You weave it together so that you are kind of going, that's what it's about. That's how it's been affected. That's what it's about, and that's how it's been affected. Now, let me just say, let's say it was this. Okay, again, there is a card. You can see that, that's the Hermit. Okay, so if you've got the Hermit coming up with the Knight of Wands, you'd be getting Hermit is the absolute influence of our daily routine, and it's about work, and it's about health matters. Okay, you can't talk about health matters in tarot readings these days. Yeah. Sorry, love. Pile. I no readings today. Friday's 5 o'clock. This is training. Sorry. So what you would be looking at is that the Hermit's also a card of the past. So something from the past, maybe in their daily routine, that is actually really healthy for them and their well-being. And how would we know that? Because Knight of Wands is dynamic. So, something's moving in their daily life, something's moving in their work, something's moving that is linked to the past. Can you see what I mean? Rather than just which is of those bullet points. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. That's what we'll be doing in a couple of weeks. We'll be going through the Pentacles. That'll probably take me about 7 weeks to go through that. And then we'll be going into pairs and exciting stuff like that. And I've been putting that together for you recently. Still putting that together now. See what I mean? All needs planning. Don't just turn up and go, what shall I do? Yeah? But you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a structure. You've got to have a strategy. Okay? And you've got to share. And you've got to turn around and value yourself and those that you hold dear to your heart and go, you know, am I providing something that somebody wants? Well, you know, I used to have queues when I was on the psychic lines for 6.5 hours. I had to just kind of go, I can't do everybody. I'm really sorry. I have to give them the money back. I'm human. I've got to stop. You know, it's just one after another because it's a queuing system. And it's like I'd stop the queue and still, you know, somebody would come in and it could be the last one of the day and they could be there. They could keep extending. I have literally, the longest call I ever took was 6 hours. And that's because that person had so much to cover. Well, they'd got me. I had the time and it was like, it got me on the line and it was like, I need to ask about all of this. I'll come back, you know, and I've fixed all of this and find out if I need any more guidance. You see? Anyway, Knight of Wands is Leo and someone of immense charisma, but less commitment because there's a gap in their wisdom. So, you know, they've moved on from being a bit of an apprentice. Now they are like somebody that kind of knows life a little bit. Oh, I know what I'm doing and it's great. Oops, I'm not quite there and I'm still learning. That's what the Knight of Wands is. But again, full of action. Why? Because it's the Wands. Wands is action. It's not about thinking, it's not about feeling, and it's not about money. Okay? It is about action, things that you do. It's a magnetically attractive person. So this is somebody who's got, you know, charisma. We like them. We feel good when we're around them. They might not know anything, but we don't mind. We just like them, you see. And it's a card attached to moving home and a relocation card. So if somebody says, am I moving house? What are you looking for? Look to see if the Knight of Wands is out in your spread. Okay. It's a big, important travel card, a card of relocation, as I said. It's adventures, and this person's always on a mission, always on the move, always into new action, new enterprises. It's also a card of immigration and making a major move. So this is kind of international. It's not just, oh, you know, somebody else internationally got that going on. And I can teach you about countries so that you are able to kind of put that together. You know, some tarot readers gone, oh, God, no. You'll find it works. It really does. And, you know, a lot of people I read for are key players in the world. You know, lawyers, bankers, government, even in the religious sort of grouping, would you believe, you know, people in the medical industry. We all need guidance. It doesn't matter what we do for a living or what we're supposed to know and what we don't know. And sometimes people want to discover hidden aspects of themselves, you know, in their spiritual growth, okay? So this is a person that's inclined to rush in where others might hesitate. So again, remember what I was saying, it's an aspect of the person having the reading and of anyone that they are asking about. Yeah, he is inclined to rush in where others might not. Not because he's aggressive, but it's more to do with the energy that he's inclined to act before he thinks. So it's enthusiasm, isn't it? It's like going for it, you know, just jump in, think about it later. It's like diving into the swimming pool, you know, and yeah, that's where your intuition will come in. You know, what do you see when what do you feel? What does it make you think about when you look at this card? You know, he's moving. Look at the horse. There's nothing about that horse that's actually standing there, plodding or pulling. It's like, here we go. Even sort of, you know, in the picture, you can kind of see it's very feathery, the plumes, you can see movement, all of that. Got salamanders there, gorgeous, you know, the colours, full of energy, full of willfulness as well. this guy gets bored easily, okay, and he's inclined to be restless. He probably means well, but before too long, he's likely to move on to the next project, country, or even affair. They like people, you see, get bored with people. Oh, gosh, I want to have my cake and eat it, sort of thing. I'm not saying, that's everyone. You have to use your intuition. Does that apply with the rest of what I'm seeing? That's not relevant to this person, So this is someone where you can enjoy their energy, their enthusiasm, their verve for life, be cautious and relying upon. Okay, so that's what that's about. Right, I'm going to move this off the screen and play you this. This is about my courses, and I'll be back in a minute with some cards. All right. Hi, how are you all? Thank you so much for watching that. That's a little bit about the courses, so you can kind of see what it's all about. It's that's what I mean. I make videos for you, so I try and give you as much information as I possibly can, so you kind of know if it's for you or not. Okay, so with no further ado, let's have a look at some decks that are quite simply different kind of images of the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Okay, here we go. All right, this one. Okay, this is the actual Page of Wands, called the Princess of Wands. Now, where does this come from? Have a look at this. Remember that fabulous fellow, David Bowie? Well, this is the tarot deck that's based upon the inspired artworks created for David Bowie by this artist, which is David De Angelis. Okay, so it's called the Starman Tarot. Okay, and this was a gorgeous gift from someone that I actually taught the tarot to, and that person went on to, and still is currently, working as a professional tarot reader as their main source of income. There you go. And it does happen. I'm not mentioning any names, but thank you very much. She knows who she is, and I hope she's watching, because I know she loves David Bowie, or David Bowie, whichever way you want to pronounce it. So yeah, in this deck, it's Princess of Wands. I mean, look at the energy that's going on in that card. Absolutely beautiful. Glossy card, beautiful. Very good for an intuitive reader. Quite difficult if you are trying to sort of start out and put the cards together, you know. For some, this will be, oh, I can see so much going on there, you know, the energy here, what's going on there, what's she doing, what's that all about, you know, there's so much there. But it can, sometimes symbology needs to be that it triggers something for you, that you actually go, yeah, I got it. And by everybody kind of following, shall we say, a Rider-Waite based tarot deck, you've got some meat on the bone, and then you can kind of, you know, enjoy your decks. You know, you might get certain things from them, that's exactly. But if you are feeling a bit nervous, perhaps it's good to go with your good symbology instead of pulling something out and feeling a bit stuck. You know, even I would find certain decks, you know, like pip decks, it's just not connecting. You know, I'm just not feeling it, or you know, it's going to be short and brief. You know, just is. All right, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, if you do want depth and you do want to actually grow yourself and give somebody as much information as possible, then it's probably really good to actually have a Rider-Waite based deck to get you going. Okay, now so yeah, not even called the Page of Wands, and I had to check, and that's me, double check last week when I was getting these ready, which was which, because in this deck we've got the Princess of Wands and the Prince of Wands. And so the princess is actually, according to the booklet, the page, and the prince is the knight. Okay, and I did have to check. I mean, if you use it all the time, you'd know that, I guess, but you see what I mean? And you haven't got your horses or anything like that to kind of help you kind of go, oh, it's all about, you know, movement, and, you know, maybe a house move as things came up, and PDF there might not connect for you. Okay, Page of Wands here, you know, this one comes from, again, somebody gave me this stack, customer. Okay, she said, oh, I just want to be a customer. I got these, thought I might be interested in sort of reading. Nope. And I said, try another deck, and she went, nope. I like having readings. I'm not somebody that wants to read for others. I've got my day job, and I enjoy, you know, the entertainment and the spiritual advice that a reading will give me. So this is the Housewives Tarot, and it's quirky. You know, it's kind of showing you, there you are, Page of Wands. You know, he's shows you he's youthful and young, and you know, he hasn't got the horse, but I'm sure you can see that that's a toy sort of horse, yeah. So, and the face in that, it kind of, it's lovely, but I don't know if I could do a real serious read with that. That's what I'm saying. Somebody who's heartbroken about something, you know, the fact that they're not going to be moving when they want to, or you know, something in life has turned out very difficult or disappointing or frustrating. Might not be the deck that you'd want, yeah. It's just whatever you want. And why do I have certain decks? Because they appeal to me for different reasons, and I'd urge you to do the same. But you know, if you are wanting to read a serious read, for someone and you feel it's important that you kind of give them a serious sort of reading, because that's what they need, then you've got to find the deck that's right for you. For some people, it will be that, and that's what I'm saying. It's your choice. You're the individual. Okay. Page of Wands in this deck. This is the Tripping Waite Tarot. Okay, from Tarot Collectibles. So I bought this one. Okay, love this. This was something I think I got last year, but I think I actually ordered it the year before, and we were right at the beginning of COVID, and it was delayed for a long time. And then when I got it, I wanted to do an unboxing, so I didn't use it until very recently. I did an unboxing on that. You can see it on the channel. Go and have a look. The cards are absolutely gorgeous. The colours are beautiful. And remember that chakras, all means something. Colours, it's all symbology, all means something. It's all part of your intuition, firing on different cylinders. So that's an excellent choice, because that combines intuition and it combines the technical side of things that I spoke to you about. Okay, so my new deck, I got this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Oops, sorry about that. It's the borderless edition of the Smith Waite Tarot deck. I just needed another deck. Why? I hadn't got a borderless one. Okay. And yes, I also have the Radiant Waite Deck. I've got so many different versions. It's lovely, but the one that I use in the office downstairs, I wouldn't want to kind of bring that up on camera because it's so well used. Would you believe that some of the actual sort of print actually does come off. Sorry, these dropped on the floor when I played you my video. So that's, just thought I'd show you those as well. Okay, so this is the Radiant, okay, and this is the Borderless. Big difference in colours. I do think this is lovely. I love this because there's no border, but it's a bit wish-washy, I like that, whatever floats your boat, yeah, okay? So I'll put that there. And then this one, okay, move it up there. I zoomed in so you could really see. Page of Wands. I'm afraid I don't have the box for that one. I do for the Radiant. Let me show you. That's the Radiant, okay. Put that underneath. Whoops. Fingers and thumbs. Okay. So this one comes. Page of Wands comes from the Bohemian Romantic Baroque Tarot. So the Bohemian Romantic Tarot. If you put in the Romantic Tarot, it will probably come up. This is, they were called Bubba Prague when I ordered from them. On the box it says Magic Realist Press. You know that I'm a big fan of these if you watch my videos for tuition. I've got lots and lots and lots of different sort of, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. My apologies. Hold on one sec. I didn't realise that was wonky. Sorry. That looked really messy, didn't it? Sorry about that. I want you to be able to see the comments and yourselves. So, yeah, that's a deck. I've got lots and lots of decks from those artists simply because I think they are absolutely stunning. They do something different all the time. There is the Fantastic Menagerie from them. This is the Romantic Tarot, and you can really read with them, okay? You can see that's a page, and look at him strutting his stuff there. Fabulous. Really love it. And yeah, have fun looking. Okay, right. Let's show you what would be the Knight ones from Starman Tarot. Again, look at that. So much going on Very good for an intuitive read, an energy reading, that kind of thing. Depends what you're looking for, doesn't it? Okay. And then again from the Housewives Tarot, Knight of Wands, so we get the message, but it's kind of quick, punchy and to the point. Depends what you're looking, you know, as in whether you've got depth or whatever. Okay. If we look at the Tripping Waite Tarot, a Knight of Wands, again, fabulous colour. Yeah, so that will help with your intuition. That will help, you know, as in with the basic meanings and, you know, the kind of way in which, if you're going with structure and you want to learn the meanings of the cards. And this one, sorry, I should have put that Smith Waite Borderless Edition. Okay, so there's our Knight of Wands in the traditional sense, and another. There's our Radiant Waite Tarot. I get out of the shot for a minute. Okay, lovely. Yeah, and the deck that I use downstairs is completely different again. You know, very much like this, but as I said, I wouldn't dream of showing you. It's just all worn away. And last but not least, Knight of Wands belonging to the Magic Tarot deck. So, my lovelies, until next week when I am back with the Pentacles. Would you believe this is flying, isn't it? We're getting there. I love your questions. Please do write to me if you want the PDF. Go and have a look on my website. Even if you're not ready, you know, it's not expensive. I've tried to make it very fair. And back when I was learning, it used to be £20 a week. And, you know, that was a lot of money then for 2 hours. That's exactly what it used to be. Okay, so I've tried to make it that, you know, it's nothing to do with it's whether or not it's value for money for you. Okay, so you've got the option of having a free version here, or go and have a look on my website and see if there's something on there that is good for you. Right, I am going to leave you with my wishes for you having a great week. But what I will do is just ask you, for those of you that's been watching today, if you could jump on YouTube and just subscribe and press the bell, you'll be alerted whenever I upload anything so that you don't miss out on anything. So whether it's actually having a reading with me on Fridays at 5, or whether it's to continue with the journey of our tarot tuition, whichever it is. But do pop on to tarotcourses.online. It's a brand new website. It's only about 2 months old. I hope you like it, and thank you for your time, and thank you for supporting me. Till next week, ta-ta from me, and I'll play you out with this. Okay.